Everyone would have heard the famous line from Fight Club by now. You are not your job. You are not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive. You are not the contents of your wallet. You are not your fucking car keys. And I'd like to offer this too. You are not a group either. A group isn't listening to nor viewing this video. You are. You are the person watching this video and listening to these thoughts and making up your own mind. You are not the group MGTOW either, and neither am I. I am simply, and quite freely, the independent, thinking individual human. In my previous video called MGTOW and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, linked in the low bar, I conveyed how I see MGTOW as a philosophy, or male-based fitness, if you will, where how one goes about it is completely up to them, only because of society being stacked against men's self-actualisation today. Otherwise, I'd surmise MGTOW would be just another general philosophy today if men and women could get along better in our culture. I prescribe to the individualist mindset of MGTOW, and not this groupthink. Let's all form a collective identity MGTOW that I see a lot of, and I mean a lot, of men adopting. Look, for me, I subscribe to the meaning of the phrase itself. Men going their own way. That is so perfect and liberating to me. And not the sect-like acronym MGTOW per se, where guys start to draw up lists of who can and can't be a MGTOW. You know, all the level 2 and level 4 MGTOW shit. All the women are bitches rubbish. All the outward finger pointing and little to no introspection. Not to mention the important thing that happens when you identify completely as the group is it's easily dismissed. For all your enemy has to do is cite someone in your group whom you share no common ground with, like some petulant idiot, and they quote them, and they say they're the standard representative of MGTOW, of the whole philosophy and movement. And then checkmate, they win. You see how that works? Now, many trolls who comment on my videos misread my bluntness at women as woman-hating. Again, I don't hate women, I just don't care about them collectively anymore. Chivalry has been dead in me for a long time, and as Dave Chappelle said, women killed it. They can all fall off their collective cliff for all I care. I only like the women in my life that have shown an individuality that I can actually respect. Remember, the opposite of love is not hate, it's complete indifference. It would be more accurate to say that I am completely indifferent to women, the opposite of love. The
"you hate women"
shaming I hear from broads comes from the female mindset that they assume the female is the absolute religion for everyone, including men and women, the goddess, if you will, and that I simply must put energy into women. It's the norm. Therefore, if I don't love women, I must hate women. Again, more energy to women. That is, your energy, according to them, must go into the female. Positive or negative desire must go into her, according to them. No. That's still giving a fuck. I am the opposite of love towards women today. I don't care. To hate is to care in a negative way, and I will not give any energy to women anymore. It's pointless. My seeming issues with women, that many of the comments falsely assume, is me painting women in such an obvious way as to show other men why you should not put any energy into the modern female parasite today. Treat her as the joke she is, and thereby hopefully I can convey to guys the freedom that comes from not caring. To me, she's a thankless black hole. The modern woman is a joke. Stop throwing your currency away on her. Keep it all for you. Understand? That's where I'm coming from. Look, I know I'll get the
"you can't get laid"
responses from people who don't actually listen to the message I'm saying, but these people just cast their offended magnifying glass over specific words and phrases they're looking for. I got it on my last video about older women, where I explicitly stated at the start of the video that I was not talking about any woman personally, and that if you're a woman that takes personal responsibility for your actions and you're not a parasite or child, then you have my respect. But, predictably, a flood of the same
"you're bitter, you're probably ugly and can't get a woman, you're a cuck beta"
just kept piling in. It makes no difference to these people, to the unthinking and purely emotional and fragile out there. And you're just handing them their little medal when you solely identify as a group too. They just point at the group as a boogeyman and you're dismissed. But as an individual, not so easy. So, as to the bluntness and often dark humour in my videos towards women again, well, I'm trying to communicate the reality of what I know to be true within MGTOW philosophy, as I see it, personally, and what I've learnt by speaking to the more naive me of the past, and by extension, maybe other guys will learn something too, with a language and bravado that others can connect to, perhaps. You know, kind of like what a comedian does when they exaggerate or turn the volume up to make a point with humour. Paul Elam, as an example, does this on his Ear for Men channel, link below, and it's great. I see what he's doing, and I see how he's trying to communicate. He's said as much too on his videos, but I still don't think many people get it. Doesn't matter. The point is it's achieving the results. It connects to men. And it also shows what playing super nice has never achieved. Men have tried super nice. It doesn't work. Men bring poetry and flowers, and they bring a sledgehammer. Well, guess what? At best you're ignored, but usually the sledgehammer wins. So to me, I couldn't care less who can or can't be a MGTOW. Sure, you can be a MGTOW and married in my book too, but it's pretty fucking hard. To me, being married a MGTOW is like trying to win Mr. Olympia while your diet consists of donuts and pizza. Good luck. The odds are stacked so much against you living the philosophy that way that it's laughable. That's where most dismissals of married guys being MGTOW come from, I think. But hey, at least your eyes are open. Better than nothing, I think. The MGTOW philosophy, to me, is the thing. The knowing yourself as a guy in relation to the world you engage in and finding contentment in your life as a result is the thing. If you don't see you in the mirror of your life, and as John Thompson recently commented on my MGTOW and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance video as well, and referred to the group thinking of angry MGTOW guys as, quote, insecure and angry men that need a group to belong to and an enemy to hate and an identity to share, unquote. Exactly right. You're just distracting yourself with,
I'm MGTOW. Women are bitches, this needs to change, fight the government, save the whales.
Or anything else. It's all missing the point in my book. Tend to yourself. That's the real thing you can do. You can only change yourself. That's the important thing that I realise. That's the important space to live in. Your ethical example of how you live and think may influence others, sure, but you should be your primary goal and concern. Women will try to get you thinking outwardly, putting yourself last always, as you think of them first, as though it's noble. But of course, they want that, because women in the feminized society need men when all things are boiled down. Men are self-sufficient, women in the feminized society aren't. If women aren't cooperating anymore fairly, then fuck them. Think of yourself if they're not even acknowledging you and your concerns. Go your own way. That's why they want you to belong to their groups. Groups out there. Constructs. Empty cardboard cutouts. Groups that can be controlled effectively. A group is a cage, gentlemen. Controlling free individuals, however, well, that's like herding cats. That is the power of going your own way, I think. By definition, you are not controlled by anything. So stop putting yourself back into that comfy MGTOW cage. It's a trap. Stay free. Now, I'm not saying not to advocate MGTOW. I sure as hell do. It's the only philosophical principle I pretty much do live and advocate out there. You know, we tend to get confused. We get information from all directions, each telling us that their message is the truth, that their ethics and nature and logic is the cornerstone of reality. These are the rules that you must adhere to, you're told. The mainstream media tells you that they're the complete shiny package of reality and truth. They even have it on their slogans, all the news that you need to know. And it makes you feel comforted and you think, I have all my thinking covered now. Just listen to them. Oh, and how convenient. They'll notify me on my phone and mobile device feed when I need to know something important. It feels easy and good, I'm sure. Women will sell you their complete truth of what intimacy and love is and should be.
Stupid. Why are you even questioning me? Are you selfish? Are you a player? Are you trying to make me cry? Don't you want to get laid? You're a selfish arsehole. Why don't you just do as I say? Why don't you just listen?
Work, money and the economy will sell you their truth.
Without this job, what will you do? Who will you be? The ground will collapse beneath you and you won't be able to survive. How will you pay the bills? What about tomorrow? Without this job, what's there to look forward to tomorrow?
And if you have a family,
She'll leave you and take the kids without that truth of an essential job in your pocket. What about your kids? Who cares about your dreams? Everything will be destroyed like an earthquake if you lose that job. No, just stay safe. Don't rock the boat and keep it all stable. Keep it all happy and smiling.
Not you, but keep it happy and smiling. Religion demands you follow its truth under the future threat of burning in hell or suffering one mystical day up ahead in ways you can't imagine. Advertising will sell you their truth. Do you have this insurance or that cover? What would happen to your family if you lost your job? Are you being left behind? Well, get the new iPhone before it's too late and feel alive. Don't create anything, buy someone else's creation. Don't live, buy a substitute object to distract you from thinking. Science and statistics will sell you its cold, unarguable, and seemingly airtight facts as the truth. Because smart people use facts and science, and you're smart, right? And who cares about anything else when we're telling you what is 100% mathematically and statistically right? Right? Look, the sensible thing to do, I'd suggest, is to acknowledge and listen to all sides. Science, society, your gut, your friends, and your actual lived life. Not just the loudest and pushiest message out there, or the most seductive like marketing or women shaming you despite your reservations lest they deny you sex. Not the most eloquent, smooth talkers either. But just notice when you're being forced or shamed. It's when they want you to
buy now before the sale ends.
That's when you need to curb the reflex to jump in their train because they say you'll miss the ride. Let it go. Sit with all the information from all sides and sift it all through your brain. Mix it with your reason, common sense, what you've continually seen as the norm, what the media tell you, what political correctness is, and its hypocrisies. The life you've lived and felt and experienced, all the data you've been fed and the information you've read. Think about it all and what makes sense to you in the end. What seems to be the more likely truth to you? Not anyone else's pushy stance, but yours. And I'm not saying that you ought to push your stance as a dogma onto others, like most do, but know for yourself what you believe to be true. Like Neo in the first Matrix movie, he kept questioning himself, but eventually he began to know he was the one in the end. Know who you are. Don't be dogmatic. Keep your mind open to being continually reevaluated and shaped and knowing more and more for your own sake. The way I see it, after you've taken in information from various external sources, the center of what constitutes truth for you should be your lived experience, and whatever clarifies that. This is the heart of what I was getting at in my previous constructive solipsism video. Apparently it went over many people's heads as they took the term literally, rather than as a state of mind to better one's life and happiness. A constructive delusion, if you will. One's lived experience, supported by outside real-world examples, seems to me to constitute a more convincing truth than simply,
do as I tell you or you won't get laid.
This is why it annoys me and many MGTOW guys when we talk about our very real experiences and how women have treated us, and even when backed up with inarguable facts that men are the majority who have their kids taken away from them, die in workplace deaths, who die earlier in life, who die most, full stop, who pay the most taxes, etc. But even when you cite overwhelming statistics like these, normal, readily observed daily life, public and social norms and expectations, the rebuttal is simply,
my exceptions disprove your rule.
Followed by,
stop complaining and you can't get laid.
Well then, fuck 'em. If they have no ear for general reality, let alone compassion for your pain, then fuck them. Here's an example to illustrate. If a woman continually got raped through her life or abused in every relationship she had, and she appears intelligent, conscious, articulate, and level-headed, and she's not being histrionic, but is simply telling you the facts of what happened to her, no guy would be saying,
stop whining. There are plenty of good men out there. No man probably wants you anyway. That's why you were treated like toilet paper. Grow up, grow some ovaries and woman up. Not all men are like that, you know. You just need to find a good man. Stop blaming men. You probably deserved it anyway. Stop choosing these arseholes. It's all your fault anyway.
Do you see the hypocrisy when you dismiss men? And that previous woman's heartfelt story about being abused all her life wouldn't even need statistics, evolutionary psychology, biology, or stats to back her experiences up. We would care as men, and we would care as a society. Do you see the hypocrisy that MGTOW men feel, ladies? And look, I know women are less self-aware than men are, biologically speaking. And no, I don't mean narcissistic self-absorption. I mean knowing oneself in relation to a living being in the world with others in nature. I'm talking that kind of consciousness. I know women need groups much more because of this disconnect from anything that doesn't serve her biological
Protect the eggs.
at all costs, and
I'm worth it.
narcissism, and couple that with her nature being aware of just how uncomfortable with isolation this protective state is, and I'd say it's even more of a reason for guys to let go of caring for these types of women and go your own way, because they don't see you in their world. You don't actually exist as a living human being with personhood. So guys, for your own mental health, follow you, not a group. Not the prescribed rules of MGTOW or anything else. Not women's life rules either. Look at your own life, be conscious. What do you want to do? Not sure yet? That's okay. Wait. And assess your own risks and fears as they come up, but don't take another's guilt or shame. Sit still. Who says you need to make a decision now? A woman telling you to marry her or else? An ad telling you to buy now? Who cares? Sit still. Don't jump off any cliff you can't easily come back from. Your life matters. Your lived experience matters. Living for oneself generally in society is seen as a man stepping over others selfishly and just taking greedily. But I tell men to embrace selfishness without lying or using anyone and esteem yourself first every time. In Paul PROTEUS's recent video called From and To Different Meanings, linked below, he came at things from a refreshingly different angle. He posed that MGTOW are going toward themselves rather than walking away from women, as most people keep saying. And typically, as we've seen in the media, whenever men ask, what about men's health funding, all we get back is,
So you want money to be taken away from women? You want women to die?
this is the cultural reaction to keep in mind from people. Whenever you're for you, they feel like you're taking from them. And so the claws come out. Look, even if I'm being charitable here, how much do you really respect any woman or society or elder or anything if you have no real inherent respect for you? What the fuck can you do for anyone if you don't place yourself first and your health first and get fed first so that you have the energy to help others? Get health funding so you're actually alive to protect the precious
Women's.
Just a simple way of rationally thinking, okay, if I'm expected to be in charge and I respect myself too, I'll feed myself first and then I'll feed the others and take care of them. A mother knows that she needs to feed herself first and be healthy in order to feed her young and to be of any use, even if she is being altruistic towards the child, let alone esteeming herself as a worthy person. Why is that so alien for men to understand? Why does it feel shameful to men to think of themselves first, even when helping and being of service to others? Why do we feel good about putting ourselves last? Remember, the strongest and the smartest used to eat first in the tribe because later they'd have to step up and risk a lot and work when they were needed. Well, it's all backwards now. The weak, sleazy liars get the spoils and run the world, and the smart, strong and noble are shit on. And the arrogance of the weak and sleazy is that they still believe that they will be protected and worked for, as they once were, by the strong and smart when hard times come. Well, many women are feeling it now, as I suggested in my last older women video, how men don't really care about old women that much. In light of how the world is now, the most rational course of action for men is to not play the game anymore. I think you'll never find peace and calmness as an individual man until you esteem yourself as a priority, your health and your happiness. Here's an exercise that I always refer to as a healthy state of mind. It's the expression, your cup runneth over. And what I mean by that is, think of your cup always being full for you and being filled by you, and only whatever spills over is for others. No one gets to drink from your cup, the world, women, the system. They only get the excess of what you feel like giving. You are always full, you are always enough, or as John the Other would say, you are the party. And I'm not even telling you to listen to me. I'm just offering something. Take it or leave it. Make your own rational choice. I am not the group, MGTOW. I am the person called human who believes that a man should go his own way, in whatever way he rationally chooses, in whatever way works for him, while being aware of the realities of the world around him. You too are your own person. That's your strength. That's your freedom. That's your liberation. You are not a group. You are what you finally decide upon. And so, as an individual, go your own way. Later.